What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and this is another episode of Team Spotlight. This is going to be the second episode uploaded this week, and we have a really special team for you. I briefly mentioned that I found this team out when I was trying out the P5 costumes and making that video. These two characters work together quite well for a number of reasons. In fact, there are two reasons that they work together. First off, the characters are Constrictor and Cyclops, and the team name is Team Generalized. As the name suggests, these characters are able to generalize their opponents, or at least do something similar to that. In Cyclops' case, his second maneuver, or level 2 ability, places a debuff on the opponent that actually counteracts their class benefits. For instance, he places Winded on Scrappers. He places Off Balance on Infiltrators. So in a sense, he kind of generalizes them. Constrictor's first ability places Generalized on whoever he hits. And then on my agent, we're going to go ahead and equip the Savant Spear. Right now we don't have it equipped for these early battles, but we decided to use it later. And it really does make quite a difference when you're generalizing pretty much the entire opposing team, especially in PvP. The other reason that this team works so well together is because Constrictor takes advantage of stuns. He does more damage on his Snake Eater ability if the opponent has stun on them, while Cyclops' last maneuver, his level 9 ability, places incapacitation on all enemies. This counts as a stun for purpose of attacks, which enables Constrictor to do major damage using his Snake Eater. This will be demonstrated throughout the video. Right now this Infiltrator hardly has any HP left, but we're going to go ahead and show you a Snake Eater on him, since he does have incapacitation. And you'll see that he does quite a bit of damage when he uses this ability. So let's go ahead and target him with a Snake Eater. First you see the random item used, and it is a Quantum Elixir. Then he does some pretty amazing damage with that Snake Eater. The same thing will go for PvP. In fact, Constrictor will do even more damage. And right now I only have a level 9 Constrictor, so you have to take that into mind. His damage should increase even more as you level him up. Now Cyclops has 2 turns in a row, and we're going to start with the Mega Optic Blast. And that puts incapacitation on everyone. Then next we're going to use the Optic Blast, and that'll place Flanked on the opponent. That means that any single target attack will be followed up by another attack. The Distress Call is Constrictor's level 9 ability. It can only be used once, but it will call in Magneto, who will hit everyone on the opposing team with a Graviton Well. And that is a quick action, so he gets to go again. So we're going to use Snake Eater, which will deal increased damage, and he will also get another follow-up attack if he needed it, but he does not. He does over 9,000 total damage. Now we're going to get another turn. We're going to use that on the Tactician. So he's able to take out 2 opponents with Snake Eaters, and he dealt really good damage with both. Ionic Sledge will finish off the last character, and now we're going to go into the second battle against the computer. Now these battles probably look pretty familiar, and that's because I've been running the same mission in attempt of getting a certain item for the upcoming special episode of the Adamantium process. You'll be happy to know that I did get that item, so there's just one left to get, and then I will start on that special episode. If it doesn't happen this weekend, then I will release another regular episode of the Adamantium process, and you can be sure that next week there will be the special episode posted. The ability that is on the screen, Exploit Weakness, is the one that places the type of debuffs that I was explaining about. It'll put different disadvantages depending on your class. So here goes an Exploit Weakness, and I put Exhausted on a Tactician, meaning he won't get that extra turn. This is very similar to the Generalized debuff. But we're going to finish that Tactician off, and then we're going to use Neurotrope. When we make it to the PvP portion, we're going to be replacing some of these items, and I will go over that once we make it there. For now, we're using the Ionic Sledge with the Neurotrope, and that way we can get a few more finest hour buffs quickly. It's random, so you're not sure how many you're going to get exactly. So we just used the first ability of Constrictor. Now we're going to follow that up with the Lightning Lash. It puts Incapacitation and Constricted on the target, and it will definitely finish him. There you see another random item. He used a Lost Page, so that means your team will be healed and debuffs will be removed. And that could be really useful if he procced that in a PvP battle. Now on this wave, we're going to go ahead and use the Crackdown, and the Bodyguard took it, so we generalized him and also placed Disabled. Next, we're going to fire the Mega Optic Blast, so all of the opponents have Incapacitation, and they will be susceptible to a huge hit from Snake Eater when Constrictor gets a turn. The other really cool thing about Cyclops is, whenever he counterattacks, he places flanked on the target, because he uses his level 1 ability. After we finish this wave, we're going to be going into PvP battles. There's actually quite a few in this video, and that's because a couple of them are really fast. I was pleasantly surprised by what this team is capable of. After using Quantum Jumper, we're definitely going to end this wave with 2 attacks from Constrictor and Cyclops. So first we're going to use Exploit Weakness, and the Bodyguard will take it, so he's finished. And this should actually finish it off with a Snake Eater. And he casts Web Grenade as his random item, and that actually killed the Infiltrator. Going into our first battle, we're facing Rescue and Omega Sentinel. And these are 2 really powerful opponents. And this was pre-Rescue nerf. I was definitely a little bit nervous for my team. And Cyclops also is a blaster, so Rescue's going to gain an extra attack against him. So let's see what she does here. She's going to use Protector Protocol, and then Reconstruction Matrix, which we figured she would use. Now we're going to use Evasive Maneuvers, which grants combat expertise to everyone but Cyclops, and that's because of what Rescue hit him with, her Flyby Attack. Otherwise, he would gain combat expertise as well. Then we thought about using his Mega Optic Blast, but then we decided to go with his second ability instead. Unfortunately, we didn't pay attention to the fact that the agent had the Knight, so he's going to go ahead and protect, and he's going to counterattack. So we kind of wasted that turn right there. We weren't feeling that confident about it. Normally it's helpful when the opponent uses an agent with a protect weapon and rescue on the same team. And that's because when there's 2 competing protectors, all you have to do is target the one that you don't want to hit. So if you want to hit rescue, you would target the agent, and rescue will protect it. If you want to hit the agent, then you would target rescue, and the agent will protect it. Hopefully that makes sense to you. But anyways, there you see my items. I'm using the scroll, I'm using Savant's Spear, Coulson's Revenge, and the Warbringer Axe. And the reason I'm using the scroll is because I need to remove buffs from the opponent, as well as debuffs for my team. That's sort of a weakness for these 2 combined. And I'm using Coulson's because it would be nice to proc a coordinated attack. Now we just used a Distress Call, and it did okay damage. We're still not that big of a fan of it, because it is a level 9 ability, and you only get to use it once, and usually the opponents aren't going to be magnetized. You would kind of have to use Magneto on your team for that, or maybe Rescue. Something that would magnetize the opponents, that way it would do the most damage possible. Now Omega Sentinel just made a terrible mistake. We had combat expertise, and she attacked our entire team. So our agent and Constrictor are both going to counterattack Omega Sentinel. Now she's hurt quite a bit, Rescue's hurt, and their agent's down. So we're coming pretty close to finishing this team, but we still have to contend with Rescue. Their Omega Sentinel got counterattacked on her second attack as well, so now she only has 184 HP left. That's good for me, but it's also unlucky because she could have really been finished right there. 184 is nothing in terms of health. We're going to use Mega Optic Blast, and there you see it can do quite a bit of damage. It takes out Rescue and Omega Sentinel and hurts their agent. There you see their agent has Mutant's End, and I'm not sure why they didn't use that on Cyclops. But regardless, this is over due to combat reflexes. This next matchup is really focused on offense. It's pretty much a killer be killed match. It's against Thor, who's modern Thor, and also Iron Patriot. Thor got to start with the Summon Thunder, but luckily we did have a shield on from Savant's Spear, so that kind of softened the blow. It also did a little bit less damage than we thought it would. Then Constrictor gained Tactical Maneuvers as a result. So what we're going to do is we're going to use his second ability on Iron Patriot, and he gained Counter Strike due to a random item buff. We did not check to see if their agent had Protector on, but that's okay, he just shifted the focus to him basically. So now we're going to use Snake Eater, and there you see the considerable amount of damage that it does to someone with incapacitation. Cyclops just gave our team Evasive Maneuvers, so that's going to be pretty tough against War Machine, Iron Patriot. When he attacks, he's going to get counterattacked from our entire team, because we're sure he's going to use 21 gun salute. And then we're going to take out their Bruiser with the blast from Cyclops. Now that it's my agent's turn, we're going to decide to hit Iron Patriot with the Savant Spear. It breaks through his shield and does 4,400 damage. Now we're expecting a full charge 21 gun salute from War Machine. Luckily he is generalized, so he won't get an extra attack for attacking a blaster. Our entire team is going to counterattack him, which is probably going to save our lives. And they will counterattack after this second blast. So here we go with the crackdown. Unfortunately he dodged it. The Optic blast did hit and it applied flanked. Then we're going to see a combat reflexes, and that finishes War Machine before he gets to do any more attacks. We don't expect too much from Thor because he doesn't have 2 buffs. So he went ahead and used his Empowering Strike. That'll gain him a stack of might. But then we should be able to finish him, especially after a 12,000 counterattack. Unfortunately, Radiation Exposure does kill Constrictor, so it's up to Cyclops to finish it, and he does so pretty easily. Next we're facing a different team that has Omega Sentinel and Rescue. And once again, this was before Rescue was nerfed. She's going to do the exact same thing since she got first turn once again in this battle. So she's going to put Flyby Attack on. Only she did use Status Reset, so that's different. Protector Protocol, and then she's going to use Reconstruction Matrix. So that's the same exact thing as she always does. Now it's Constrictor's turn, and we're going to go ahead and place Generalized on their agent. So we attack Rescue. She unfortunately magnetizes us. There goes their agent, he's going to protect. So he's Generalized, which is good because he was an infiltrator, and he would gain combat reflexes off a Constrictor. We gain an extra turn due to Quantum Elixir, so we went ahead and Generalized Rescue as well. And we did that by targeting their agent, so she protected against it. Now with Cyclops' turn, we're thinking about using an Optic Blast. It's going to be protected against, so we're going to put Flanked on Rescue. Rescue is the character that we'd like to take out first, so putting Flanked on her should help quite a bit. On our agent's turn, we thought about using the Scroll. The only thing is that would remove the Protect from Rescue. Then only the agent would have it. So we decide not to use it yet. And then we're just trying to decide what's going to do the most damage to Rescue. And we settled on the Savant Spear. So we attack the agent, that way she'll protect it. So in this case, having multiple protectors kind of messes his team up. But it did also ruin Flanked. And that is unfortunate. Now his entire team gets to go, so hopefully they don't do too much damage. And he's using the mace, so that's definitely going to help. It doesn't do much damage at all, and I'm pretty much against using it, to be honest. There's really no reason for it, especially if you're going to use Rescue. She's already going to be a protector. Then on top of that, Omega Sentinel also has a protect ability, so I'm not sure why you would also use the mace. The scariest part of this attack is the fact that I do have an Infiltrator agent, and he has Omega Sentinel. But we lived through it, and we're going to get a few counterattacks. So first, Constrictor with the Crackdown. Then it's going to be my agent's turn. So it's a pretty big hit with a Brawl. On Rescue's turn, she uses Flyby Attack on Cyclops. So he's once again winded and off balance, which is pretty much for the entire battle. And Constrictor is going to use his Distress Call. That should finish Omega Sentinel. For this attack, we're not sure who we're going to target. We kind of want to take out Rescue, but at the same time we want to put more damage on their agent. So we go ahead and target Rescue, and the agent will take the hit instead. So we did some mild damage. We did apply Generalized and Disabled. Now it's Cyclops' turn. With Cyclops, we're going to go ahead and use his first ability. So that's going to hit the agent and put Flanked on him. Unfortunately, Flanked hasn't been working too well in this battle, but we still have it pretty well in hand, and we're going to go ahead and just attack the agent and finish him off. The first hit does some pretty good damage, and then we're going to do another attack on him, which is a Brawl. So in that flurry, we did a lot of damage, and we were able to finish their agent. After we take Rescue out, we're going to have one more battle in this video. It's going to be pretty quick, especially compared to this one. Let's go with a Lightning Lash from Constrictor, and he did proc Flames of Destruction. So there goes a nice crit from that, and we got a coordinated attack as well. That's going to be enough to finish the battle, so on to the last one. This one's against Phoenix and Iron Patriot. We're going to open it up by putting Generalized on Iron Patriot. But first we have to check and see if there's any protectors out there. There wasn't, so we were able to hit him, and we placed Generalized, cornered, and off balance. And those last two debuffs are due to the armor that we're wearing. Now that Iron Patriot is Generalized, he won't be able to gain tactical maneuvers by attacking Cyclops. With Constrictor, we were thinking about using Distress Call, but we're going to keep it, just in case we need a little bit extra damage to take Phoenix out. So we're going to Generalize her. We gain coordinated attack, and she's really hurt already. She's going to use Mind Link, and this was before her buff, so Mind Link was not a quick action yet. Their agent was able to hit Constrictor with a Phoenix Pinion, which bypassed his shield. Now on the Cyclops, we use Evasive Maneuvers, and then we're thinking about using an Optic Blast. So I think that's what we're going to go with. An Optic Blast, and we're going to place Incapacitated on everyone. And hopefully that will kick in and count as a stun, causing them to miss a turn. At this point I was hoping that it caused Iron Patriot to miss his next turn. And it actually worked out that way, which was pretty amazing. So my agent's going to use the scroll, and then we want to finish Phoenix before she can use Phoenix Fire. So we're going to focus on her and try to finish her with a Savant Spear. It does over 20k, and coordinated attack was going to kick in, so she had no chance. Now it's time to use that Distress Call, and then a Snake Eater, which should do some pretty heavy damage. He hits with a Mystical Munition as his random item, and places some debuffs. But then he does some amazing damage and finishes their agent. Like I said, this team really did surprise me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is going to be the last attack, so let's finish it with an exploit weakness. So that's the end of the video. Until next time, I want to thank you for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos.